Hey friends, happy Sunday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor. I'm a stay-at-home wife and mom, and I've been sharing these What's for Dinner videos here on my channel for 5 years to motivate myself to cook more and hopefully motivate you to cook more for your family and to give you some new meal ideas. Typically, I try about 3 new recipes every week, and then it's mixed in with like some family favorites. So I do have a couple new recipes to share with y'all this week, as well as just some usual things that we have from week to week. But I'm going to go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. Friday night we had country fried steak with gravy over mashed potatoes with corn. I like to do my mashed potatoes in the Instant Pot. So here in my Instant Pot I have some peeled and cubed up potatoes on top of my trivet, and I'm putting them in the Instant Pot with about 3/4 of a cup of water and some salt, and then I cook them on manual high pressure for 12 minutes. After 12 minutes, you just need to do a quick release, and then once the steam is released, you can go and pull out the little trivet, and then the potatoes fall into the water that's in there, and that's okay. It helps mash them up. And then I usually add about a stick of butter and just add some milk and some seasoning to taste till you get your potatoes nice and creamy. I don't have measurements for my mashed potatoes. I always just taste and add by taste. And then for our country fried steak, I was trying these beef patty frittered like country fried steak things from Aldi. I got them on clearance for $2.75 for this bag of 6. And I only cooked up 4 because that's what would fit, and that's really all I needed for my family. So the directions said to put them in your air fryer basket, spritz them with some like olive oil spray, and then stick them in there, I believe on 375 for 7 minutes, and then flip them over and do them for another 7 minutes. I ended up doing them for a little bit longer after I flipped them. I think it was around like 10 minutes because I just wanted them a little bit more browned, but they were actually really good. We enjoyed it. I made like a packet of white gravy and then just a can of corn, and this was a very cheap and pretty delicious meal. Saturday night, I was going for easy again, so I pulled out some of this mandarin orange chicken from Trader Joe's, and I cook that in my air fryer. It doesn't have air fryer instructions on it, but I just lay it out in a flat layer on my air fryer basket and then put it in there on about 375 for 10 to 12 minutes, and it gets nice and golden. And then I'll transfer it to a bowl and drizzle on the packets of sauce and then toss it to make sure everything gets coated. I love to serve this with fried rice. I know Trader Joe's has like a bag of frozen fried rice, and lots of people do that. I have never tried that. I want to, but I just haven't. So I just made my own fried rice, and I will leave a video of that down below. I've shared that many times, and we love it, and it's really pretty quick to come together. This whole dinner was done in like 20 minutes. It's one of my favorite go-to quick and easy dinners. Sunday night I made burgers, which is always easy, and to go with it I made some corn. I love utilizing my air fryer in the summertime. If I'm not out cooking the corn on the grill, I am doing it in the air fryer because it is so good. So I've just got them on my air fryer basket, but I did put some foil on there, and then I just spritz the corn with some olive oil cooking spray, and then you can use whatever seasoning you like. A lot of the time I will do Old Bay. That's really good on corn, but this night I just did some of the Cavender seasoning, which is like an all-purpose seasoning. It's got garlic and onion and salt and pepper in there. So I just did that, and then I stuck them in the air fryer for about 10 minutes on 375. You can flip it halfway through if you want. I don't bother doing that most of the time. And then when they come out, I just take a stick of butter and rub the corn all over, and then you've got some nice buttery corn. And then, as I said, we're doing burgers, so I just took some ground hamburger meat and I'm pattying it out into burgers. I do not like to add like a bunch of stuff to my hamburger meat. I've said this before. I keep it very simple. I patty them out. You don't want to handle the meat too much or your burgers will fall apart. And then I just season them on both sides with some salt and pepper. and then I stick them in my pan. Sometimes I use my cast iron. I feel like you get the best like sear on the outside of the meat in the cast iron pan, but I wasn't feeling like dealing with cleaning the cast iron because you kind of have to baby your cast iron pans. So I just use my big skillet. I heated up some bacon grease in there because I love to cook my burgers in bacon grease for some more flavor. And then I just cook them for about 5 minutes per side. You can use a thermometer and check the internal temperature. But that was it. And we just had cheeseburgers this night. No bacon, nothing special, just cheeseburgers. I even forgot to get tomato. So very simple. A can of Bush's baked beans and then our corn on the side. Monday night I tried a new recipe for steak bites and potatoes in the crock pot. I actually did not follow the recipe that I saw on Pinterest for this. It did not have enough seasoning in my opinion. It was really just the stew meat, potatoes, and like garlic and butter, and I needed more. So I've got about 1.5 pounds of stew meat in my crock pot, and then a 2-pound bag of baby gold potatoes that I diced up into like, I cut them basically in half. And then I'm adding on some garlic powder, onion salt, salt and pepper, paprika, some of the 21 seasoning salute from Trader Joe's, and then I diced up probably about 8 cloves of garlic, and then I put on 1 stick of butter that I sliced into pieces, and then I did about 3/4 of a cup of water and then some bouillon, some beef bouillon for that. And then I sprinkled it with a little bit more garlic powder and that 21 seasoning salute. Put a lid on this and let it cook on low for like 6 to 8 hours till your potatoes are tender and your beef is tender. And then you can just serve it with whatever you want. You can serve it over rice if you want. I just did some green beans on the side and some Sister Schubert's rolls that I cooked in the air fryer. That was it. This is pretty good. I feel like it was still missing something, but I would try it again. Maybe add some more seasoning. Not sure if it needed more butter. I feel like it needed, I don't know, maybe some more salt or something. But it was pretty good, and we'll try it probably with some other seasonings. Tuesday night I made tacos and taco bowls. This was the meal that we were supposed to have back on Lily's birthday. She had requested that I make the cilantro lime black beans and cilantro lime rice with our tacos. So here I'm showing the black beans. I just take a can of black beans. I do not drain them. And then I also add in about 1/2 can of water. And then I'm adding in some adobo and some of this like complete total seasoning. You could use this one or the Padilla Complete. And then this crunchy jalapeno lime stuff from Trader Joe's. I don't know if they have this back this year, but it was from last year. And it is just a tad spicy and it's limey and it's just really good. And I hope they do have it back this year because I'm going to run out of this soon. And we love it in our black beans. We love it on tacos. It's great mixed in sour cream as like a dip for chips. But yeah, Lily requested those black beans. So we had that with some tacos and cilantro lime rice. I will leave my recipe for cilantro lime rice down below. And I actually burned most of the taco shells. So Andy and I had taco bowls instead of tacos. Wednesday night we tried a new recipe called Easy Lemon Garlic Parmesan Chicken. This is actually supposed to be made with chicken thighs, but I used chicken breast that I just sliced in half horizontally, so it was really thin. And then I am also doubling this like marinade, so I could have half to put on the chicken and then half to drizzle over the chicken and pasta later. The recipe, I had seen this on TikTok originally, and she said to reserve some of the marinade so that you could drizzle it over the top. I just decided to make double. I don't know that that was necessary, but I did it anyway because we like lots of sauce. So that's what I did. But the original recipe, you want to mix together 1/4 cup of olive oil, the juice of 1 large lemon, 4 cloves of garlic minced, a tablespoon of honey, a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of chili pepper flakes, a little bit of salt and pepper, and 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Mix that all together really well, and then I took about half of that and poured it over my chicken and let it marinate. You can marinate it like all day in your fridge if you want. I was short on time, so I just let it marinate for 15 to 30 minutes. And then I started cooking it in the air fryer. So I've got some foil here on my air fryer basket just because this is really like saucy. It's got a lot of liquid to it. I didn't want that dripping all over everything. And then I just got my chicken on there and I spooned the rest of the marinade from that bowl all over the chicken. I didn't want to leave out any little chunks of garlic. And then I cooked this in the air fryer on 375 for 12 minutes, and that was perfectly cooked through. It turned out delicious. It was slightly sweet from the honey, but then you had like garlicky and lemony, and it was delicious. I just made some angel hair pasta and I added some butter and like garlic powder and Parmesan cheese to that, so it was pretty plain, and it paired really well with that sauce from the chicken. It was delicious and I highly recommend it, and I will leave the recipe link down below for those of you that want to try it. And finally, the last meal of the week, we just had pizza. I had 2 pizza doughs from Aldi in the freezer, so I thawed those out. And then I also had some diced ham in the freezer from Easter. So I did ham and pineapple on one pizza, and on that one I also did jalapeno on half of it for me and Andy to have like the spicy Hawaiian. And then on the other pizza I did ham and pepperoni and lots of cheese. And then to go with our pizza, we just had some fresh veggies on the side, and that was it. I definitely recommend the pizza dough from Aldi. I always have good luck with it. I do think on the package it tells you to cook it at too low of a temperature. I have the best luck cooking it at 450 degrees, and I will par bake it for like 4 minutes and then take it out, add my toppings, and then put it back in for another like 8 minutes, and it turns out great every time. The one with the pepperoni and ham I did on like a 16-inch pan, and so you get like a thin crispy crust, and then the one with the ham and pineapple, it's on a smaller like 12-inch pan, so you get like a little bit of a thicker crust, and I like it both ways. But that is going to do it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. If you got any new meal ideas, let me know which ones you plan on trying down below. And make sure you leave me a smiley face emoji in the comments as well to let me know that you made it here all the way to the end. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!